When we think of Emperor Akbar the Great, the mind usually goes straight to immense wealth, sprawling marble palaces, and absolute power. But if we wind the clock back to the start of his reign, all of that imperial grandeur would crumble into dust. His reality was a bleak, impoverished military camp in the wilderness of Kalamur, Punjab. The crisis had started weeks earlier, hundreds of miles to the south. Emperor Humayun, Akbar's father, had tripped down a steep flight of stone stairs in Delhi, sustaining fatal injuries. In the 16th century, news traveled only as fast as a horse could gallop. It took 19 agonizing days for messengers to ride north and deliver the devastating update to the 13-year-old Akbar and his guardian, Bairam Khan. The teenage heir was suddenly fatherless and stranded in a hostile wilderness. He held a title that commanded no real territory, leaving him as little more than a high-profile target for every rival in the region. As historian Vincent Smith bluntly observed about this exact moment, Akbar possessed absolutely no physical empire. Looking at a map of northern India from that period reveals a grim operational picture. The royal treasury traveling with the camp was completely empty, and the core dynastic territories of Delhi and Agra were currently paralyzed by a devastating famine. To make matters worse, a former ruler named Sikandar Shah Suri was marching nearby with a massive army, eager to wipe out the remaining Mughals and reclaim his old territory. And to the northwest, safely locked inside the Kabul fort, were Humayun's two other sons, Mirza Hakim and Mirza Farrukh Fall. Humayun had died so suddenly that he never wrote a formal royal decree naming an heir, leaving the succession completely fractured. Add it all up: zero financial capital, starving home provinces, an encroaching enemy force, and a three-way dynastic dispute. By every conventional metric, the extinction of the Mughal dynasty in the dust of Punjab was the most logical outcome. The only person equipped to navigate this disaster was a brilliant military commander and Akbar's guardian, Bairam Khan. But Bairam faced a severe political disadvantage inside his own camp. He was a Shia Muslim born in Persia. Meanwhile, the Mughal royal family and almost all the powerful military emirs, the generals who actually controlled the army, were Sunni Muslims of Turkic descent. These older emirs considered themselves pure-blooded nobility. Their leader, a highly influential noble named Shah Abul Ma, openly despised Bairam Khan and viewed the Persians' rising authority over the young Akbar with intense jealousy. Shah Abul Ma held the influence to shatter the camp from within. Before Bairam Khan could even think about fighting the rival armies marching toward them, he had to neutralize the ticking time bomb of rebellion within his own ranks.
Bairam Khan understood a harsh political truth. A vacant throne invites treason. He needed to close the power vacuum immediately, giving the emirs a physical sovereign to swear loyalty to before they had time to plot. So he ordered his men to gather ordinary clay bricks and stones right there in the encampment. They hastily stacked them into a crude, unpolished platform to serve as an imperial throne, the ruins of which still stand today. On February 14, 1556, they dressed the 13-year-old boy in golden robes and a dark turban, lifted him onto this rough structure, and declared him emperor. During the ceremony, Bairam Khan made a highly calculated linguistic choice. Instead of declaring Akbar the traditional Turkic title of Badshah, he used the Persian term Shahenshah. It was a subtle but deliberate assertion of his own Persian authority over the grumbling Turkic generals standing in the crowd. The danger of assassination was so palpable that the moment the ceremony ended, Bairam strictly confined the new Shahenshah to the royal tents, banning him from leaving the camp. But the desperate theater had worked. By physically seating the boy on a platform and crowning him, Bairam instantly manufactured an undeniable political entity. He forced Shah Abul Ma and the rebellious nobles into a corner. They either had to submit to their newly crowned emperor or commit open, indisputable treason. Securing the camp was a vital first step, but a crown worn in a dusty field means nothing to the governors controlling the distant provinces. Bairam Khan needed their compliance, but he completely lacked the troops to enforce it. This map illustrates his next strategic move: a rapid flood of royal decrees, or farmans, dispatched from that single point in Kalanur, racing out to governors in Kabul, Kandahar, Delhi, and Agra. These documents were brilliant acts of psychological warfare. Instead of demanding taxes or loyalty oaths, the decrees ordered the governors to stay exactly where they were. Bairam guaranteed they would keep their current posts and promised expanded estates and future wealth to anyone who remained loyal. By appealing directly to the self-interest of distant commanders, Bairam Khan achieved widespread pacification without firing a single arrow, buying his fragile new government the exact thing it lacked most: time. Looking back at this moment, the irony is staggering. The foundation of India's wealthiest and most culturally magnificent empire was built on a desperate illusion, backed by nothing more than a pile of clay bricks and a stack of paper decrees. Akbar the Great was not forged in marble palaces or insulated by inherited wealth. His reign began in the absolute crucible of extreme famine, uncertain succession, and the looming threat of betrayal in the wilderness of Punjab. The survival of the Mughal dynasty on that freezing February day proves a vital historical lesson. In moments of total structural collapse, the swift, decisive projection of authority can be just as powerful as an army.